We're in downtown Saratoga Springs, and it's hopping. All these cars.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Philly Street.
That's my GPS telling me
Philly Street, then turn left onto Putnam Street.
where the nearest so we shout This place is nuts.
Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm John.
And we're the Geezers on the Go.
Go, go, go.
In this episode, we're at Whispering Pines Campsites and RV Park, a private campground in the foothills of New York's Adirondack Mountains. The campground is near Greenfield Center, about 8 miles from the bustling tourist town of Saratoga Springs. Like John says, Saratoga can be nuts, and Whispering Pines offers the antidote, a quiet, peaceful contrast to all that noise. The campground has 112 sites, everything from heavily wooded tent sites to full hookups with cable TV, 2 fishing ponds, a trout stream, and a pool.
We never made it to the world-famous Saratoga Racecourse. Too many people, too much traffic. But there was a cool military museum just up the road. There were some interesting exhibits at Saratoga Spa State Park, too, like the renowned springs that gave the town its name. And finally, we took an auto tour of the Battles of Saratoga, which provided a turning point in the Revolutionary War.
We're here at Whispering Pines Campground in Greenfield Center, New York, right outside Saratoga Springs. It's one of the few times we were staying in a private park. We just decided last minute to go have a camping fix, and I found this one. I always wanted to go to near Saratoga, and we're sort of in the trees here. It's for a private campground. It's very nice. It's not real close together. There's one site. All behind us are woods, and the next site is until way up there where the picnic table is. So there's daily sites like ours, and then there's lots of seasonal sites. This guy looks seasonal. He's not here right now. Roads are a little narrow, and most of them are two-way roads, so you might meet somebody along the way, but so far we've been pleasantly surprised, and we have full hookups here, water, electric, and sewer. Basically our campsite is pretty good. It's dirt, but it's hard packed, lots of pine needles, but behind us is pretty. There's nobody behind us, just trees. Looks like there's a creek down there. Could do some exploring. And also there's a fire pit. Gonna take a little walk from our campsite over here, and just to see what's down the road. As you can tell, the road's not real wide, and it's kind of gravelly and stuff, and this part here I think is a one-way. But there's a site over there. It's 33, I think. And this person over here looks like they're a seasonal person. Looks like they've been there a little bit. But for a private park, it's very beautiful. Lots of trees. There's 2 ponds. There's a stream. And nobody's on top of each other. Most private parks we've ever been in, it's very close together. Notice this site number 30. Kind of a big open space. And they have water and electric here. This is number 30. Down at the end of our loop, I guess it's called Squirrel Drive. I think we're on the Avenue of the Pines. There are a few sites back here, and it's a dead end. But this is number 13 and 14. And I'm guessing 15 looks like a seasonal site, as is the one that's all the way in the back there. So they do offer sites for, like we got, by the night, and I think they offer by the week. You can go by the month, and I think they go by the whole entire season. And if we go the other way here, as it goes out towards out of the park, this is 12, and there's a nice little pond over here that would be pretty nice. There's a pretty cool looking fire pit over here. Somebody made it pretty fancy. And some pretty red, daisies almost. We'll take a quick walk down here. This is site number 11. It might be maybe a teeny bit hard to get into, but you could go up that way and then back into it. It's a very long site. The electric is in the back over here. And this is site number 10, which would be kind of squishy. I think you'd have to have a small trailer. But and that's over there is number 9. So it leads back up to this cool little pond here, which seems like it's not buggy or anything, but, and then there's a bridge over there that takes you, there's a trail back there that goes along there's a creek that's supposed to be it's Trout Creek. We're up this road to the right up here, but this road comes down here and makes its way down along the pond. And there's some benches and stuff you could sit by the pond. And that, at the end there, leads you out of the park. And the office is right there, and they have wood and other things, a little bit of a camp store. But what's nice there too, they have a pool. So we might try that out yet, because it's been pretty hot and muggy. And one of the few places we've ever been where the pool is actually open when we're here. As you first come into the park, there's a few sites right here next to the check-in station, and there's a couple of pull-throughs, and they look like they have water and electric. And I don't see sewer here, but water and electric, and you're right by there's a fire station over here, and then you're right by the pool, so that would be kind of nice. It looks like as you first come in again, this is site number 28 and 26. These don't have any utilities, so I'm guessing these are tent sites, but they're pretty nice. And again, you're right by the pool, but this look like they do have 20 amp and some water. So you could plug in and have some electricity at these couple of spots. Number 27 here around the corner. This one, lots of trees. And I guess they have an electric box here someplace, although I don't see it. They have, some of them are kind of in, oh, there it is. It's hanging there off the tree. Coming up the road from where we are, we came up this way when we were looking for our campsite and got a little lost, but up at the top here, there's a little turnaround, and there is a dump station over here, and then there's another little bathroom right there, that little brown building, because there's lots of tent camping down at the end. So if you're tent camping, you come up here, and there's some sinks to wash your dishes and stuff. No showers, but just bathrooms. Just up our road a little bit again, and this is site 40. There are, as I said, a number of daily or weekly sites, maybe we'll call them transient sites in this private park. And they're spaced out really nice. Like this one's nice and big. This is 41, has water and electric. And this one's a little short, but if you had a little pop-up or something, it still has has power. And then there's a couple spots down here across from them that you can tell these people stay here probably all summer. There's nobody here now because it's the middle of the week. They got their flowers and their planters, and this one's got a big deck on it. Here's Site 37. I think they probably spend their whole summers here, and even even have a little mailbox to put stuff in.
Getting a little bit farther back into the campground now. This is Site 45 right here. It's a nice big site. Boy Scout bottle drive. This is, well, we're jumping up to Site 83 now. Kind of a small one, but right on the corner. Now we got some more campers up here.
This might be a little more of the seasonal people, who knows?
Yeah, this is Site 84. Site 85 right there. Yeah, this is a lot of seasonal people up here.
Now that's a really nice seasonal. That's one of those ones you leave it and you never move. It looks like a house. Right across, going up this hill by Site 83 is a big bathhouse that has showers and restrooms and also a laundry. So if you're in the park, you can do laundry. You don't have to go outside and have to travel too far. And then there's some of the more of the campground down that way.
This is Site 50. That's a really nice looking site. I don't think there's any hookups back there though.
These back here look like these are tent sites. They just have picnic tables and grills. Our tent.
They're really nice. I mean, this is for Site 52, but for a private campground, this is really, yeah, looks a lot more like a national park than it does an RV park. And Jill's going to try a little, few casts in this little pond here, see if there's anything out there. Besides weeds, that is.
If something hits it, I'll be very surprised. John's gonna give it a shot. He's got a little different spinner on. Mine was just a little spoon. His is more, has a little feather on it. Little MEP spinner. Looks like there should be some fish by that down tree, but
yeah, probably a lot of spinners on that down tree too.
I'm gonna take a walk behind site number 10, where 9, 10, where we were, along the pond here, because there's a bridge, and I just hope I don't fall in over here because it's kind of mushy. We'll go under the tree here and go see this bridge. Yuck! Kind of smushy. Good thing I got my crappy shoes on. Well, this ain't much of a bridge. It just goes through a little creek that comes out of the other waterway that's over there. Well, let's go across and we'll get a better view of the lake here. As you come into the park here, there's another pond. It's a little bit weedy, but we're going to give it a try. Who knows?
It's a little smaller too.
It's a small, yeah, it looks a lot smaller. Yeah. And then right here too, you have a state-of-the-art playground.
Well, Jill's going to give it a try. Ooh, she got a bite. If she's not careful, she might catch a fish.
Oh, I got something. Oh, I lost it.
All right, Jill's exercising her inner child over there. What kind of swing did you say that was?
This is my kind of swing. It's very old-fashioned.
And there goes Jill on the old I got you sick
On the throw-up machine.
ride on the throw-up machine, yeah. Don't see too many of these around anymore.
Those are too dangerous to make people get sick.
Too dangerous for old people.
Well, here we are at a campground that we can actually go in swimming. That the pool is open.
First time ever.
I know, hardly ever. So, tell me how it feels, John. The cold?
Sort of, a little bit.
It's a nice pool. Nice surrounding, lots of trees, and we parked right there, so so we're good. So, have some fun in the pool.
I think I'm cooled off.
Oh, okay.
Alright, here's Jill. She's braver than I am. She's in.
Here, count to 3 and I'll get wet.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay, I went. Not so bad. This Whispering Pines campground is really nice for a private park, wouldn't you say, John?
Yeah, it's a lot more like a national park, a national forest, or a state park. It's so heavily wooded. And the sites are a little primitive, but
which is good.
You know, they're dirt sites and they're private. And,
but a lot of them have full hookups, and some have cable TV.
Right, and they have a couple of little fishing ponds here too.
And they have a pool.
And it was open.
It was open. Usually we go places that's closed. And we met a couple of the people who have seasonals here, and they said it's a great place because it's very quiet, even on the weekends.
And there's a lot to do here too.
Right, we're just less than 10 miles from Saratoga Springs.
Yeah, we didn't go to the racetrack. Yeah. But we did find a secret, though. If you go to the Saratoga when the horses are running, the town empties out.
Yeah, there's a real nice, it's called Broadway in the middle of town, and there's tons of shops if that's what you're into. But we sort of did like a military tour almost of this.
Yeah, we went to, we did go to the state park, Saratoga State Park Spa, and see some little geysers.
It's known for its mineral waters that actually then Governor Roosevelt said he investigated how we could better utilize those minerals.
And we went to a military museum, which is really nice.
Oh yeah, it features mostly New York state people and how they influenced all the different wars. And then we went to the Saratoga battlefield. Yeah,
actually there were 2 battles of Saratoga during the Revolutionary War, and they were very pivotal in us becoming a nation. And we'll take you out there. Nice little car tour.
Right off of downtown Saratoga Springs, and about a little less than 10 miles from our campground, we're going to go here to the New York Military Museum. It's a very impressive looking building with a cool turret on the top, all kinds of cool bricks. This military museum highlights New York State's participation in all the different wars, from the Revolution all the way to the Civil War and World War I, World War II, and everything else. So it should be interesting, all our history. Sometimes it's a good thing to take your kids with you. They have a little map here that you could give your kids, and they have to go search the different areas of this museum and look for clues and artifacts. So it keeps them busy. It makes history, I think, a little bit more fun for kids sometimes. This is a plaster cast of Lincoln's hand made in 1860 by a New York sculptor named Leonard Volk. And wow, pretty cool. That's what Lincoln's hand looked like. This is Brigadier General Abner Doubleday, which many of you might know. He helped develop baseball in the United States, but he also was at Fort Sumter and ordered the first shots fired by the Union soldiers at Fort Sumter, and he also was at Antietam and at Gettysburg. So he knew more than just about baseball.
It occurs to me, I mean, how would you like to be driving this Jeep in battle with that gun going off right over your head? That couldn't have been an easy thing to do. You don't generally think of New York State as the place to look for Civil War history. You're more likely to go to Virginia or Maryland or even Pennsylvania. But the fact of the matter is that New York State mustered more soldiers into the Union Army than any other state in the Union. And by the end of the war, over 100,000 New Yorkers had served in the Union Army.
Oh, a little less than 10 miles from our campground, we have the Lincoln Bathhouse, and it's in part of the Saratoga Springs State Park. Also in this complex, there's a couple museums, and there's John up there waiting for me. This is some big building. Says it was designed in built in, well, not built, but it was opened in the 1920s. Well, wherever I am, it's a very impressive brick building there. It says the park office is way down at the other end. These big fancy buildings here, this is the administration building here by this reflecting pool, was actually commissioned by then Governor Franklin Roosevelt, who believed that the minerals in the springs here were an underutilized natural resource. And finally, going into that little office, there was a woman there, and she gave me a map. And you follow this map and it'll give us all the springs. Finally. Well, we finally found Geyser Loop Road, and I think we came in from the top end instead of the beginning. And you're going to see some tremendous looking geyser over here. So get ready, folks. Get ready. There it is. This is called the Polaris Spring.
The Saratoga National Historical Park was about 20 miles east of our campsite, on the other side of Saratoga Springs. The park is the site of two pivotal battles that turned the course of the Revolution to our favor in 1777, and we couldn't pass up the drive-through tour. This, after all, was where the Continental Army, led by Generals Benedict Arnold and Horatio Gates, stopped British General John Burgoyne in our first big win of the Revolution. I don't know if you can see in the video here those little white stakes going down the left side of the field and out at the end of the field. Well, these were the demarcation points of American fortifications that they built after clearing this field of trees in order to stop Burgoyne and his British army. The British won the first skirmish on September 19, 1777, although at a heavy cost. Without British reinforcements, the two sides met again at Bemis Point on October 7th. This time, it was quite a different story, with Benedict Arnold on the field. He was reinforced by 30,000 New Yorkers and defeated Burgoyne at the second battle of Saratoga 18 days later. It was a major turning point in the war and probably led, or certainly played a big part in our victory over the British. Having won our independence once again, it was time for us to head home. Hope you had as much fun as we did, and as always, we'll see you down the road.